have a morning off. It's 8 o'clock. Just having some time off.
Yeah, I would say I do really like when we just sit, because we always talk and philosophize about things. Can't help it. We do when we're sitting and working, you're having tea, when we're sitting in a restaurant, always.
There's a lot to talk about, really. And I don't know anything either.
You don't know anything.
I don't have a phone, so I don't know anything.
Yeah.
It's funny to have made that choice, because it's interesting not to have a phone in this world.
Oh, I wanted to do something. I wanted to read the comments. It's funny how the channel is getting more attention than it really has ever gotten before.
Yeah, it's funny.
I don't really know why.
As I said, I think part of it is that we are in very exotic regions, and you were mentioning it every now and then. And exotic regions can draw people's attention.
Well, I think I do think it's that we are who we are, and we're so unusual and strange, and we're in these exotic countries, because several people in that video that got the most attention were saying they let them into the country. Why did they let these people into it seems like they'll let anybody into their country.
I think that's funny.
Why is that funny?
When we come through border, we're able to get almost all the immigration people to smile. It's only going to the United States that people frown a lot.
Yeah.
But every country, I mean, that's what you talk about a lot when we were in Europe and we left. The immigrations officer giggled and laughed when we moved through. Being fabulous is not a reason to turn people away from the country.
Being different is not a reason to turn people away from the country.
Yeah. Being fabulous,
being yourself,
and
being
sweet
unique,
and kind, and
because we are
joyous.
Yeah, that's part of what it is about who we are, is that we're really unusual, but we make a point to be really nice to people, not falsely nice, just nice. So this is another interesting thing that's happening, is some people are coming to our defense in regards to, I'm leaving certain comments that they're not like hateful, but they're not like completely supportive. They're more logical,
ambivalent and strange.
Yeah, realistic maybe.
Yeah, ambivalent,
yeah.
Parental.
Yeah, something like that.
Like
here's one.
Conservative parent.
Yeah. Someone said, you can't depend on art or music as a career if you're not making money from it. It's a big waste of time. It doesn't mean you can't do it for fun or for a hobby. If somehow you start making money from it, that's great, but don't expect to start believing you're entitled to success. And if that has 3 likes. And then I wrote back and I said, thanks for your comment. Thankfully, I don't have to make money from my art. And I wouldn't know the first thing how to anyway. I'm blessed to be able to do it for my own joy and have always been able to. I've also been blessed to make a living as a musician doing something no one else does. I'm now free to live how I want and do what I want with my life. I don't believe I'm entitled to anything, as I work very hard at what I do creatively every day, as does my husband. Hard work doesn't mean success is a given. It is required to improve my skills as an artist. I don't think it's completely fair to say making art or music that doesn't make money is a total waste of time. There are so many more things besides money that artists gain from making art and music. Making art as an artist, and making music as a musician is necessary for our sanity and for our survival in this fucked up world. Art and music is part of who we are and why we are alive. I believe that if you do what you love, that the money will come. And that has been true for me all my life, as it has been for my husband Thoth. And that has 4 likes. And then someone just responded, I agree. I'd rather be a starving artist than a successful burnout. My artwork gives me fulfillment in so many ways. Being creative is such a gift in and of its own. Money is just a bonus, and money is a tool to further my artwork. I need to be creative to be okay. To call it a waste of time is absolutely absurd. It's a lifestyle. It's our lifestyle, and that's okay. We're okay. Luckily, I'm not starving, but I have been before, and even then, I would have chosen free expression over stifled money any day. Peace and love. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So I leave those kinds of comments when somebody's being kind of parental or they're not being judgmental or mean, but they're have a conflicting opinion.
Yeah, they're also demoting art to a less exalted place than we have it.
Yes, but they're being nice about it. They're not. they're having a conversation instead of being just nasty. And then someone else said, being an artist isn't a job. And I wrote, being an artist and a musician is a life calling, but it requires a lot of hard work and discipline to achieve it. And then that same person said, this person's comment is sad. Being a good artist is very hard work. Great artists of the past had so much work which was never seen compared to what we did see, and it's still the same today. In every media, no great artist goes into that life with money as the end goal. It's who we are. Some people put 10 years of practice to perfect a single piece, and others don't see that 10 years of hard work. They only see the perfect piece in completion. An artist's lifestyle is not for everyone to understand, and that's okay. Someone else wrote, I've been doing art for 50 years. At your age, I wanted to have shows and primo galleries. I reveled in good reviews of my work. I was thrilled with sales of my work. All these things were dependent on what others think/thought of my work. I worked a straight job to pay my bills, which allowed me to do art regardless of how it was received. It gave me independence. Now as an old man, all of the things I struggled with and what you're struggling with now became less important. Now what I care about is doing work that I think is successful. So continue to seek recognition for your work. Do not think about supporting yourself indefinitely, no matter how good a year you have in sales. Above all, do work that you're proud of. And I said, thank you very much for this comment. I appreciate your thoughts. As an older artist, I do try to remind myself that it is creating art and music I create that is most important. Not if people see it or like it or buy it. It's doing the work that's important. The recognition will come if it's meant to come, etc., etc. And he said, you're quite welcome for what it's worth. I think your concerns and your intentions are exactly where they should be at your position in life. Please do post more chronicles of your struggles and triumphs, as they are the real deal. As an aside, I traveled to Southeast Asia in 2004. My stay in Cambodia was retching and inspiring.
It's funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments. A lot of people.
Yeah, I am thinking that it is a lot to do with the exotic locale too.
I don't know. I think it's a combination of
Yes, it is.
us being exotic and the environments we're in being exotic.
Everything's just like going together in an interesting way.
Because most people who make daily vlogs of their travels are incredibly just, pedestrian people. I mean, some of the most successful travel vlog channels are they're just very simple, normal people. There's nothing wrong with that, but they are normal. They're very normal people. I have never seen a channel of 2 people traveling who are as unusual as us.
Yeah, I like sitting around in this way.
Yeah.
And just the editing issue is something, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that makes it harder is that there's a feeling of needing to fill the space with talking because otherwise I have to sit there and go through and make sure there's not a lot of dead space.
And that's also part of the talking issue of having to talk and fill space.
Yeah.
Is dead space really that bad?
No.
Is that fan?
Yeah, it's like, do we have to turn the fan off and turn the AC off in order to be uncomfortable so people can hear us? I think if people really care and are really interested, then they will sit through it.
It feels better for
'Cause
me.
it's more natural.
Yeah, it feels more like what happens for us rather than we sit there and then. Also, I can have my moments of complete blank out on words where I just sit there and just what am I saying?
You seem to feel more comfortable.
I am more comfortable. I feel much better. I feel like, I mean, it's there, but I'm not having a like thing.
Yeah, the other day when we were doing the one about and it was
The
really
evil.
yeah, evil and good. When I set up a camera and we have to talk about something very specific, it's hard because it's not natural.
Yeah, you want to fill up space, and I get clammy.
Yeah. And when we talk, just when we're just sitting and you're having tea and I'm working or something, we talk very naturally with each other.
Maybe that is a thing to do, is to the talk with the ginger tea, because I'm very relaxed when the ginger tea is very soothing for me and warming and very nice. I like it a lot. And it was my way of getting out of coffee.
Yeah. Yep. Because you love having a warm beverage in the morning, something
And
warm.
there's a lot of water.
Yeah.
I need water. I in a sense I fast. That's what breakfast means, is breaking the fast, and I fast for my sleep, because otherwise I'm up.
Yeah. We don't eat from basically like 7:30 until noon. So 7 about 17 hours of not eating.
So water is good, and having a powerful herb like ginger in my body is very nice, and much better than coffee.
I also feel happy that people who are struggling are starting to find the channel, because
Yeah, that's good.
it makes me feel really good, because sharing my struggles, sharing your struggles can help other people to realize that it's not unusual to struggle, that struggling with these personal sufferings, being a sensitive creative artist is normal, and being hated on for being creative and being original is normal.
Yeah, there are several angles that they're coming from to hate us too.
Yeah.
One is envy, which is something that they can't access at all.
Yeah. One is projection.
Yeah.
Projecting.
Projection. One is just pure, I don't like the world. And because you look the way you do, you're one of the reasons why I hate the world.
Yeah. Oh, and people say that a lot. The way you look, the way you are, the fact you have your hair dyed a certain color, that's why the world is this way. But people do that a lot.
Really?
People do that a lot. I have to remove comments often in which people say that. In the one in which we were talking about the goodness and evil thing. One of the first comments was, the reason why the world is this way is because of the fact you dye your hair.
What?
Yeah, the fact you dye your hair green. It's unnatural. That's why the world is so messed up. So you're doing something that's unnatural to yourself. Which doesn't make any sense to me. I can kind of understand that in regards to people who do tattoos and do these huge body shifting things.
Yeah, but even that is
That's
in tribal communities was sometimes very much part of a ritual of a divine ritual that was created.
yeah.
So tattooing came from that.
And cutting.
Yeah, cutting
Cutting through the
piercings
skin.
with big holes
Yeah.
and
Lip
yes,
piercings.
lip piercings. I remember my first sight of somebody with lip piercings when I was a kid, and it was National Geographic, and they had a picture of a plate in the lip.
That's interesting, actually. Dyeing and braiding hair, beading hair, doing these fabulous hair designs and tattooing designs, and yeah, that used to be a very spiritual.
Yeah.
It still is.
Still is.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, again, as we were trying to go to the temple, is to be restricted in our access, even though we're some of the most spiritual beings, because we are more bodily expressive than most.
Yeah.
That makes me very sad, and it makes me sad for them because they, in a sense, they lose us. They don't gain our energy in part of their thing.
Well, in regards to this thing about in religious churches and temples and stuff, it's all about having to hide your body.
Yeah.
But the body was created by
It's divinely created.
divine God, whatever. It was. It's like, how else was it created? All of these things that religious people say you have to hide, it was created by God. It was created by something.
So what are we hiding it from?
What are you hiding it for? Yeah. People saying they need to be humble and cover themselves and cover their bodies and stuff is I mean, people can do what they want, but it's not something I understand.
Yeah, it is what's happened, and we've gotten to a little bit of a tussle. I mean, in Istanbul, that's basically what we were having trouble with.
Yeah, because we were being fabulously.
Yeah, we were being so expressive and so demonstrative and expressive, and there's nothing disrespectful about it at all. And then the police had to take us away to protect us from the crowd that was building to lynch us.
Lynch us for being our fabulous selves. And that's another really interesting thing, is that people think that we are protesting. These police in Istanbul thought we were protesting because we were just being ourselves. Isn't that strange?
Yeah, it's what happened.
That is like such a weird thing about life. It's totally freakishly weird.
Well, maybe we're just protesting by existing.
We are protesting by existing.
We protest.
Yeah. Because we are ourselves, and we live in this world that doesn't embrace originality, and people are so quick to judge.
I have to get up. Oof. Yeah.
He likes to have more earrings than just two.
Yeah, I
Must
think
have more.
earrings.
I see. Pink today. Ah, so pretty.
Remember, I used to wear that purple dress all the time.
Yeah, I did.
The reason that the world came into existence is because I was practicing.
Yeah. But in regards to your drawing, you're like, no, I'm practicing. You gotta just.
It's my insecurity.
Yeah, I understand. But you gotta just start doing it.
It's funny to be sitting here like this.
Why?
'cause it's we're somewhat on the street, but we're on this table. There's nobody in the restaurant today, but lovely day.
Nice breeze. Having nice
I can smell passion fruit.
I can say that there's something to be said about that you do get sad in life and you do feel deeply, but you use your creativity and your you use that in order to make something beautiful from it. You don't let it destroy you.
Yeah, the creativity really is the natural antidote to moods.
Yeah.
It really helps. It creates focus. It does intention. There's that is the closest that one can get to divine being. See, and it really, that is one of the things that the Bible says that is really correct. It's the creative act. It kind of starts with let there be light, and that's really the page. The page is empty. The staff, the violin is quiet. The floor is.
Vocal cords are not fluttering.
In order to start any one of those things, one has to just put the bow down. One has to take a step. One has to leap into movement.
One has to make a mark on a blank piece of paper.
Yeah. Put the first word.
Put the first note down on a reason project.
And that's really important, that stuff.
It's always hard.
Yeah, always.
No matter
It's
how many paintings you've made, how many writing pieces you've done, how many pieces of music you've made, how many times you've performed music, it's always hard to start.
Always. And if it's a difficult time that you can't get that started, it can be saddening.
Yeah, very. I very much find my moods going up and down depending on if I'm creating something or not. Just marking down on a piece of paper, just, for sometimes that, a lot of the time that's between my happiness and my sadness is, look, I marked on a page, I made something, I did something. That's the difference between...
That's probably where I'm struggling right now, because doing an exercise is not doing that. It's really just it's following instructions about something. We're just creating here she is. Maybe not.
No. Yeah, you need to just start working in your book. You've had it for 7 months now. I've finished my book. I've made like 25 pieces of art in that 7 months. And I wouldn't say I'm any more ready than you are. There's no ready, you're not ready. You're ready.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's the great,
Also, it's better to carry around one book than to carry around 10 books.
Yeah, I do my best to try and not have too many books.
Look at that bird sitting in the light. What's he doing? Hello.
He's making a nest.
Lucy, you see? Oh. Jumpy.
Yeah, so that's really the difference between me and you can be sad, you can get depressed, you can get even suicidal, you can be not wanting to be a part of the world and not feeling like you're part of it, and yet still make something beautiful, still keep trying, still keep creating, and keep doing. And I pride myself on that. Even in my darkest moods, like thinking of when we got thrown out of our spot in Lisbon, it made some of my most beautiful art pieces.
It's interesting. The process is very much comes out of difficult experiences.
Yeah. You have to embrace that. And all of my art pieces that I've made when I've been really, really sad are full of knives stabbing heads and eyeballs floating around and blood and guts. But that's how I'm feeling. And if I look back through the whole process of my art collection, I can say, oh, well, I was feeling really bad during this one, I was feeling really great during this one. But some of my greatest art that I've made has been made during times of immense sadness.
Also, when those negative experiences have led to the greatest knowledge. And we've had that happen so many times.
Or empowering feelings of like, look, I did this even though I was really sad. And you don't remember the pain. You only see the finished piece of art that you made. Very yummy chicken burger. It's only maybe $3. I've been kind of dreaming about it since we had it last. That good. And to tenderly go home. Thoth could have a seizure at any moment. We had a quiet day off experience. Days off are very strange because we always look forward to them and then we don't really know what to do with ourselves. We don't work out in the morning and we don't practice in the evening. This is Pop Street again.
The boomboxes are very loud.
Very loud. Very loud. A very lovely meal.
Simple.
Very simple, but tuna carpaccio and a cheese platter. It's very nice. Time in the things.
What is it called?
I don't remember what it's
rickshaw.
called. Oh yeah, it's a rickshaw.
Whee!
Oh, it's interesting. It's very
But more visible to everybody too.
La 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 la.
Wow, actually quite interesting.
Right.
It feels different.
Can you show my lot of... What kind of show can you... Oh my goodness! A very naughty show. A very naughty show. Yes, indeed.
Pasta corner.